Hi everyone, Simon here. So as you can see, we're in a swimming pool. It was finally finished 2 days ago. And the reason why it took so long, for two reasons. One, because the project got delayed for 2 weeks because of my operation, and it took a few days longer because we had some leaks. When we filled the pool for the first time, we filled it quite high, and overnight the pool lost a good 6 inches of water, so we knew there was a problem. Now, I know pools do lose approximately ½ an inch each day because of evaporation, but of course it wasn't that. We knew it was a problem, so we emptied the water fully. We checked the drain, that was okay. We checked the grouting in the pool, that was okay. Took the 4 lights out, checked behind the lights, they were okay. They thought there was a small leak behind one of the skimmers, so they filled that. Now we fill the water again, and unfortunately the water went down again. Not as much, but it still went down. And we knew that there couldn't have been a big leak in the pool because the guys did such an amazing job of constructing it and waterproofing it. And believe me, I made sure that they did a good job doing the waterproofing. So Cherry and I thought and guessed it may have been the pipe work. And on the day that we were going to tell the engineer or ask him, as he or they checked the PVC pipes, before we could ask that question, he already started to dig around where the pipes were joined. And I was just praying that they would find the leaks, because it was getting a bit frustrating. Now, when I came out of the house and saw there was 4 or 5 holes around the pool, straight away I could see there was leaks. In fact, there was 5 leaks. 5 leaks, and one was quite significant. Now, I didn't really get to see how they did the joining of the pipes, but anyway, they weren't done properly. So thankfully they were done. We filled the pool halfway, and then overnight, just to see if there were any leaks, ran to a full fill again, and there's no leaks. Well, there's no water drop, so we did the full fill of the pool again, and hopefully finally it's been resolved. But I have to say it, guys, but the mentality here in the Philippines is do it and then fix it later. And that was the same when we did the house build. It's just one of those things. The attention to detail is very, very poor. And it seems to me that there seems to be a lot of jack of all trades but master of none here, and they're all self-taught, so there's no formal training. They just do it on the job and just learn as they go, which it might be okay sometimes, but you know, when it's something as expensive as building a house and a pool, you know, you want the quality to be 100%. Now, although the pool is finished, there are some niggles still, but those niggles, I can fix those. And what I mean by niggles is that some of the grouting is missing on the walkway and around the jets, so I can do those little things, but I shouldn't have to do those things. So yeah, so we'll give it a few days and then I'll do those little jobs. But we're so happy that the pool is finished, so happy. Now towards the end of the video I'll share with you what the cost was, but also the quotations that we got before we agreed on an engineer and the price. By the way, let me just show you the view from the pool. Just beautiful. So nice. We've had 2 parties in the past 5 days. Pool parties. We've had lots of kids here and adults. In fact, last night we had an adult only party. Yeah, we're very, very happy. I've had the filter and pump on for 3 hours today, because after the 2 parties the water was a bit cloudy, but now we've run the filter and pump for 3 hours, it's almost clear again now, and we've added some chlorine in the pool that will help to keep the pool nice and clear, kill the bacteria that's in the pool, if there is any. Let's talk costs. Now, we didn't go for an extravagant design. Mind you, I suppose a pool is quite extravagant, because I never thought I would have the chance to build our own pool. We're so humble and grateful. Yeah, so the pool is 3 meters by 6 meters in dimensions, and there's the 3 steps there, 3'6" deep here, and then it slopes down to I think 5.5 feet down at that end, and then we have the walkway, which is another, I think that's 60 centimeters there, all the way around, and quite simple. Yeah, nothing fancy. So yeah, now when we first started to consider about building a pool, we got some quotations, and there aren't that many people in the province that has the experience of building pools. So we had one quote, and that was to build a pool in the corner and build us an outside shower there, and that price came in at 675,000 pesos. We got a second quotation that came in at 550, and I got him to go down to 500. But yeah, one of the quotes that we got, the third quote that we got, came back at 1.2 million. So the exact same spec, exact same size pool. So I could be wrong, but I'm thinking there's a bit of skin tax applied in that quotation. 1.2 million. Madness. So yeah, 675, then 550 from a different person who went down to 500. We had a third quotation that came in at 450, but then decided to increase the price to 500. And I remember one of Cherry's cousins is an engineer, and we approached him and asked him, does he have experience in building pools? And thankfully he did. In fact, he's built quite a big pool in Iloilo, so he has experience. And when we sat down, and I didn't give him, all I said is that we wanted a pool 3 meters by 6 meters. In the price include the pump room, and of course all, like, you know, like the pump, the filter, the vacuum, and the outside shower. And I didn't give him any of the prices, and he came back with 400,000 all in, 400k. So to think we had one quotation for 1.2 million, we could have had three pools for that price. So yeah, we went with a lovely guy called Dennis, who lives locally, which is nice in case there's any issues. Any problems that we found, or I found, he's been very, very quick in coming out and fixing them. But yeah, 400,000. It's still a lot of money, but what you get for your money is this. Peaceful, tranquility, noisy. We'll be off party. Yeah. Now, I'm still learning how to maintain a pool. I believe it's not that complicated, but there are certain chemicals that you need, of which I've already got some great advice from Joe, and he's got a channel called Filipino Joe. I thank you, Joe, for your kind advice and information. God, look at this. I need a shave. Getting quite long and far too much grey there now. Yeah, so it will need daily maintenance, and what that is cleaning the top of the water with a net. Yeah, to clear the leaves and the bugs and things, and then vacuum minimum once a week for the debris that falls to the bottom, and then a backwash of the filter once a week. So I think it's going to be fairly involved, but it's going to be such a nice, pleasurable thing to do. You know, just walking around the walkway with a net, just scooping up the leaves and the bugs. It's therapeutic. Small things, eh? So yeah, it's going to be a nice thing to experience. and I don't think I will ever get sick of coming in here and cooling off and just relaxing and just looking at and the garden. The garden will need a bit of tidying because it's been a bomb site the past 2.5 months. So we finally put the decking chairs out, and I have bought a pool cover, and the pool cover is a perfect fit. Now, I don't think I will put it on yet, but I think I will have to do towards the end of the year, and that's when the leaves drop. And dare I say it, it may be a bit too cool to swim, because even though it's quite warm still in what we call our winter here, yeah, the weather can be quite cool, so who knows. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'm not an expert on pools by any means, but I really enjoyed the past few days, you know, just cleaning and enjoying. So thank you for watching as always. I'll catch you all again on the next one. Bye for now.